Like, I was like, has he even seen Princess? I totally forgot you guys like went to my apartment. Yeah, that was like,
it was a party. It was a whole thing.
dude. I remember
It was a whole one night stand.
My fucking roommates were so well. One of my roommates was so mad. The other one was like cool with it, but the other one was like, why are you just gonna invite all these musical people over here to start hanging out? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm in a musical.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah. I was like freshly 21, like everybody's, partying and stuff like that. That was like the height of my entertainment career. You know what I mean? Fucking played lead guard in Shrek the Musical.
It was a good role. It was a good time.
Oh man, guys, thank you for coming in and listening to another episode of Help I'm High and Can't Get Down. We got my boy Alexander Thomas, author, fucking tabletop creator, fucking, I don't know, other things that you also do.
Karaoke enthusiast. Dog lover.
Yes. You were the walrus guy, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, dude.
I haven't been for a while.
Bring him back all the fucking
jam.
crazy ass memories.
That's actually where I met my wife at the Walrus.
Oh,
At
shit.
karaoke, yeah.
Dude.
She was on a date with another guy.
Oh my God. Well, there you guys go. If you want to find a wife, go to karaoke and steal someone's wife.
Ruin
or
somebody else's
girlfriend.
date.
Yeah, exactly.
I asked her if she wanted to go to the zoo with me, and she said everybody asked me to go to the zoo and left.
Oh, wow. That's
And I was
crazy.
like, oh, okay, I guess fuck me. I'll never see you again, ma'am.
That's crazy. My girl didn't even have to go to karaoke. Just like... But no, that's fucking awesome, man. Dude, karaoke, meeting your wife. But really, we brought you on here, though, to talk about like one big thing. We got a fucking book right here. The Magician's Sin, is that what it's called?
That's what it's called.
Hell yeah.
It's book 1 of the Titan City Chronicles. So
all right. Go ahead and pick up that book and like show it to that front camera there. Let them see it.
Which camera's the front camera?
That one.
Oh, the big one, the fancy one.
Yeah, the one that's actually going to have quality. You know what I mean?
Not the webcam.
Yeah, not the,
That's for the OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. How did you know? He's watched too many of my jokes. He needs to get out of here. No, that's crazy.
I'm only a fan. That's how I know.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so tell us about this book. What's going on?
So I write fantasy noir is the genre I write in. It's sort of like if Humphrey Bogart had gone to
dark
Hogwarts.
fantasy? Is that what
sort
that
of.
is?
Fantasy that takes place in a real world setting.
Oh.
It takes place in an alternate 1930s in America in a city called Titan City on the East Coast. And it follows a disgruntled wizard named Anson Walker who is immortal and has wanted to not be alive for a long time. There's this magical event coming up that's going to allow him to take his own life, but before he can do that, his ex-wife gets abducted, and her daughter comes to him and says, can you help me find my mom before you shuffle off this mortal coil?
Oh.
And in the process of finding her, he starts to figure out maybe he doesn't want to die yet. He might have some stuff to live for.
Fucking pussy, dude. God damn it.
Yeah, he's a grumpy Gus.
I mean, everybody wants to die until they're like right there. They're like, fuck it.
You know what? Maybe not. Maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm good.
I'll take the gun out of my mouth. Just like.
Yeah. No. The problem is he's immortal most of the time. He's not immortal once every 70 years. And then.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why this one magical festival is the time then. Okay, because it's like his.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. I was the chosen one 100 years ago. The prophecy never came true, and now I'm still here. So.
Oh, that's crazy.
F this, I want to get out.
That's crazy. So you said it's a part of a trilogy. You said, right? Or you don't know yet. It's just a series.
It is a series. I'm working on a trilogy. Basically, there's a trilogy of books that take place in the 1930s. There's a trilogy of books that take place in the 1940s, the 1970s, and the modern day, or near modern day.
All right.
When I first conceived of it, modern day was like 2010, and now we're 13 years later. But that's fine.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a big series. It's got a lot going on.
So what is it like when you're writing? Okay, because I do a lot of writing, but I'm not writing like long length stories. So it's like when you're writing and it takes you a year to write a book or 2 years to write a book, or like let's say like life fucking happens and it takes you fucking 10 years.
Yeah, George.
Yeah. Like, does that kind of influence like the story? Does that influence like maybe like different shit has happened out in the real world that I want to like incorporate now? That
I would say that the story is very different than when I first conceived of it almost a decade ago now. that feels strange to say because I was writing this first book when we were in Shrek.
Yeah, I remember your big ass fucking thing that you always had. Your leather bound fold over.
That's this book.
Damn. Dang. Okay.
But mostly I've grown as a writer and as a person. I've absorbed more stories. I've learned more about how writing works, and I've gotten to know the characters a lot better in the process of writing all the books I'm working on. Like I've got 3 that are hopefully coming out this year. If everything goes according to my spreadsheet, they will all come out this year because there's nothing glamorous about writing.
Yeah, man. That's for sure.
But I actually learned the point of the story recently, which was not good because I wrote a book already.
Yeah.
But sort of the overarching conflict of the whole story, I've finally wrapped my mind around why it happens. I've figured out why he's immortal, why his nemesis that hates him is immortal, and what that means for his daughter, who is a combination of him and his nemesis. So this whole big metaphysical cycle of life and rebirth.
They were like the first like real gay magicians.
And
they had a daughter together.
Well, Anson is bi.
Okay. Well, okay. Calling it out right here,
his
guys.
His nemesis is a metaphysical being of extinction and darkness, so he doesn't really have sex.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, he probably doesn't hate it, but it's
it.
not somebody goes looking out for.
All right, cool. So, all right. So, is this how did you fucking come up with this idea? Like, what made you think magicians and modern day magicians?
So it started with the main character, Anson.
Okay.
Much like any other nerd, I have played in a lot of D&D games in my life. Anson started off as one of my player characters in a campaign I was in, and the DM wrote an ending for our story that I hated. I was like, fuck this, I can write a better ending for this character. And now here I am.
Oh, snap. Okay.
He's sort of inspired a little bit by like True Blood and Vampire Diaries, other vampire stories that take place in modern day. A little bit of Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. There's some influence there. And I've always liked superheroes. That's always been my favorite genre. That's where I do most of my work now anyway. So I picked the beginning of the dawn of the era of superheroes, which is like 1938. Somewhere in there when Superman first gets published, and he's beating up landlords, and he's doing all the things that I wish he would do now.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay, yeah. Wow.
So
it
it's just
started
sort of
as a D&D character.
Yeah, well, a Mutants and Masterminds character, but most people don't know what that is.
Okay,
so
gotcha. Okay.
Which I shouldn't say that because I'm the developer. For
Yeah. Don't say that. Push your own stuff.
Yeah. So Mutants and Masterminds is D&D, but with superheroes is sort of the short version of saying it.
Okay. And he was a magician in that, okay.
Yeah, I think I've always liked magical superheroes. I like John Constantine, I like Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, characters like that who are superheroes, but they delve into the supernatural side of things rather than just punching guys in masks or punching meteorites. A lot of punching.
Yeah, just lots of punching and shooting. Just that's all it is. Just pretty much. I mean, is there another superhero who isn't magic, who's not punching or shooting?
I mean, the Question doesn't usually punch people.
I mean, Flash is punching, but he's just running fast.
Right.
You know,
he's more bumping into people really fast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's just shoulder checking them really hard. Just like
he's got bad situational awareness,
dude. He's actually not even trying to hit them. He's just clumsy.
Whoa, man.
He's like, I'm still haven't figured this out yet.
You came out of nowhere.
Oh man, that's awesome. So you said that you're the developer of this, and you said it's called, what's the whole name of it? It's like
Mutants and Masterminds.
Mutants and Masterminds.
Yep, I'm the lead developer for that RPG.
And how did that come about?
Mostly dumb luck.
Really?
I mean, I'm good at what I do, but there is an element of the universe sort of putting things in my path in a way that really worked things out.
Okay.
So I started playing Mutants and Masterminds in 2011 in an online chat room. And one of the very first virtual tabletops called Inferno.net. And that's where I came up with Anson. That's where I had my bad falling out with the game master. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to run this system, and I'm going to write my own superhero stories. And a couple of years after that, I started running events at Origins Game Fair here in Columbus.
Okay.
They get volunteer GMs to come in and run things. And back then, they used to have a lottery where they would put the special guests into people's games by surprise. And the guy who invented Mutants and Masterminds got put in my game by lottery.
Oh,
and they
shit.
came up to me 15 minutes beforehand, and they're like, "Hey, is it cool if Steve comes and plays in your game?" I was like, I guess. Could you have sent me a packet like 2 weeks ago, please?
Yeah.
Because I had a one-sentence description of what the adventure was going to be about. I had the pre-generated characters, and then I had like a favorite episode of Justice League that I was riffing off of, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared for it. He sat down for my Suicide Squad game. He played Deadshot, and he had a great time. And afterwards, I was like, "Hey, Steve, it looked like you had a nice time. Could I work for you? Would that be okay, please?" And he said, "Yeah." He got me in touch with his editor. His editor sent me, the guy who did my job now, he sent me, he asked me to write an adventure for them, and then I freelanced for them for about 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
During which there was a change in developers, and the new developer, she brought me in, Crystal is her name, Crystal Frazier. And she brought me in to run a game for their leadership on stream. We did a streamed game. And shortly after that, they reached out to me and asked if I'd be her assistant developer. So they gave me a real job instead of a freelancing job. And then in September of last year, Crystal announced that she was stepping away, and she promoted me up to her position. So,
dude, that's savage. Yeah. So you literally were just like, "Hey, can I have a job?"
I was in the right place at the right time.
Dude.
And I wasn't a dick. That's 90% of the problem.
Yeah, dude, you want to know, it's crazy. I feel like there's a lot of people who do not have a sense of, and I wouldn't even say, not even personality, but it's just like a business. It's like, just like negotiations. It's like if you want something, you obviously cannot be a fucking dick. Like, you know what I mean? You have to know how to like work it. It's like,
yeah.
So, yeah.
I know that the answer is always no if you don't ask, but the answer will be no if you ask wrong.
Dude, that's actually crazy. I was just about to say that. I remember a guy telling me that. He's like, "You'll never know if you never ask." He's like, "It's always no."
But you got to be a nice guy when you ask.
Exactly.
And I didn't expect anything out of it. I just saw that he enjoyed the game that we were playing, and he and I still have a great relationship to this day.
Awesome.
He writes with me on Mutants and Masterminds now, which is weird. Like when he asked me, "What should we do for this project?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You're the adult. Why are you asking me?"
Dude, that's so funny, man. That's like almost like when EJ got his like data analyst position. He was just like, "I have no fucking clue what I'm doing." He's like, "These people are like asking me questions," and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's how it happens, though, right? Like, I mean, everybody starts off at like zero knowledge, and then eventually they're in fucking CEO positions, making $1 billion decisions
with their guts because they still don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Like it's like kind of like growing up. Like when you see adults as a kid, you're like, those adults are the adultiest adults I know. They have everything together, and then when you become an adult, you're like, I think they were lying this whole time.
This entire time, dude.
Yeah, I think they were faking it. Am I faking it? Am I doing this wrong? No,
I was like, you have the wife? Do you own a house?
No, not yet. We're working on it. Working on a down payment.
He's faking it, guys.
I am faking it. 100% faking it.
No, that's great. That's great. So how long? So when did you get married?
October 31st, 2021.
Okay, sweet. So
not too
almost
long ago.
2 years.
Almost, yeah.
Dude,
on Halloween, because she was nice and wanted me to always remember our anniversary.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, because it's always hard just like having a random fucking day in the middle of the fucking year, and you're just like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It's just like their birthday. It's just like you forget the birthday, forget the.
Why did we get married on May 25th anyway?
Yeah, you always got to find somebody who has a birthday on a holiday or something like that, or figure something like that out. Like I remember one girl I was dating. I started dating her on fucking New Year's. It's like the first, I was like, all right.
Good plan.
No way. There's no way I'm going to forget this. Still fucking forgot. And just like.
There's a big party on the first.
I know.
Like, there's a lot going on that day.
Yeah. I didn't even remember dating you. What's going on?
I sent you the card. I know we broke up 8 months ago.
Yeah. USPS just takes a long time, man. Sometimes, you just don't get the message.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? No, that's funny, man. So now you're the lead developer, or right? Yeah, that's what you said. Lead developer on the Masterminds game. You fucking wrote a book. What else you got going on? Like, what else are you doing? So you're always writing. You're always doing stories. You
I
were
am
talking
always
earlier
writing.
about Twitch.
Yeah, I
You
am
like
the
streaming stuff.
the executive producer for the Untold Stories project, which is a Twitch and YouTube actual play channel where we shine a spotlight on RPGs that don't get as much love as D&D or Pathfinder.
Okay.
We play a lot of Mutants and Masterminds because that's my thing.
Yep.
But we played Blue Rose, we played Monster of the Week, we played the Fallout RPG, we've done East Texas University, Werewolf, The Apocalypse. We played a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay. Okay.
We just like to show that there are games for everyone and that gaming is for everyone.
Have you ever played a Dead Zone? I think it's called.
We played Deadlands.
Deadlands. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was this. My uncle, when he was like trying to get me into all that stuff, he like gave me. It was like just a bunch of like crazy looking ogres versus a bunch of crazy mech people, and you just would like you had like this mat, and you'd set up different like obstacles. It was like
That doesn't sound like Deadlands.
Yeah, he's really into, like I said, like the war like tabletop games where it's just like moving troops, trying to like do that. It's like I was kind of into StarCraft and Warcraft a little bit, but I never got into like the tabletop.
I really like strategy computer games because my mom would never buy me all the miniatures and cards for like mini games and card games.
Well, yeah, they're fucking expensive, bro.
Yeah, I'm not.
They're so expensive.
They were the first NFTs.
No, they were.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I could buy a $60 book and I can have unlimited games. Or I can pay $500 for an army that I have to paint.
And I'm colorblind, dude.
Yeah,
so
why would you do this to me?
Dude, this is crazy.
But people love it. I mean, I know a lot of people who love those kinds of games. It's just, and I like playing them. I've never been able to.
So you're more
collect
just
them
like
myself.
a dice roller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I like dice rolling. There are a couple of games I've played, like Dread, which is an RPG that uses a Jenga tower instead of dice.
Whoa.
So anytime you do something it's a horror game, and anything you do something that could be hazardous for your character, you have to pull a tile out of the Jenga tower. And if you drop the tower, your character dies, and you're out of the story.
Yo, so wait, does everybody have their own tower then?
No, everybody shares one tower.
So you have to reset it up every time it falls?
Yes.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, but that simulates in a horror movie where after somebody dies, usually they're safe for a little while after that.
Oh.
Usually the other characters are safe for a little bit.
Okay.
After one murder.
Gotcha.
It depends on the kind of
It's like fighting the
horror movie.
boss, and it's like, all right, now you got like a second to like chill. You know what I mean?
Ghostface usually kills one person at a time instead of like.
That's for sure.
Not like Leatherface. That dude will chop up a whole bus of people.
Yeah. That's crazy. So I would say that I've never really done the strategy games, like I said, tabletop, but I've played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I haven't gotten into any of the other ones though, but we've we've tried to do our own variations, like space or whatever. But like that shit's fun, man. I think that it's really hard, like the DMing process, and it's crazy because like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen you, but like the way that you talk is like I feel like it's different than when I like first met you. Like it's like way more I don't know, like storyteller like talking.
That's fair.
You can tell that you're on the mic a lot.
Yes, I do that a lot now. I mean, we stream every Monday and Tuesday. Well, now we're moving to Tuesday and Wednesday. And we're getting ready to launch a new show called Freedom League Dark and the Multiverse of the Master Mage. I'm really excited about.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I've been on camera a lot. I've been on the mic a lot. I've done some more stage stuff since Shrek. Shrek the Musical was my first musical, actually. That was the first play I ever did after high school.
Sames.
So
yeah. So I did a short film in that, and that one
nice.
I just started doing stand up later. So yeah.
Oh, stand up's hard.
Dude, it is hard.
I admire anybody who can do stand up.
I will say though, all of the stuff that I like learned from like my theater experience has definitely helped me, like the beginning of my stand-up career, because like one of the things that you have as a new stand-up is that like you don't have like a lot of personality. You just kind of go up there and you're like trying to do whatever, and because I had like stage presence and I could project and everything, it made it the beginning a lot easier, even though I still sucked. You know, it was like
the fundamentals help, like being able to stand on a stage and not panic when somebody's looking at you.
When someone like yells at you.
Yeah, or at least be able to like stand still and hold your knees when they're shaking. Rather
so what else have you done then since?
I was in the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Okay, I do remember seeing like stuff for that.
I was in Reefer Madness. That was another musical I did. I've done a lot of joke musicals. I was in Evil Dead the musical.
Okay,
as the bit part demon, which was a lot of fun. I was in Thanks Killing the musical.
Okay.
which has 5 characters in it. The turkey. I was the hick who had a secret like gay romance with the nerd, which was great. I got murdered by the turkey by it exploding out of my chest. And then the nerd came and found me and held me while I was dying, and we had this wonderful Meatloaf, Neil Diamond musical number together, which was great.
That's awesome.
That was so much fun. It was at Club Diversity downtown, and every time we got to the end of that musical number, someone in the audience would yell, "Kiss him!" when we were looking at each other.
Did you ever?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, we're not missing out on that opportunity.
Yeah. No, I mean, we were gay icons. We had to.
It's actually funny, though, because it's like...
I was Nick Offerman first.
That's funny, because I did a Neil Simon play in high school called Rumors, and it was just like pretty much a bunch of people pretending to be the other people who were there. It was like crazy.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, because they show up to this house party. The main person is like upstairs, and like for some odd reason nobody just goes up. I don't remember exactly what happens, but like they're all communicating, and then one person has to be another person, and then this person also has to be this person. It was nuts. And then at the end, I remember I had to like come down in like this fucking bathrobe or whatever, and at one point I had to kiss one of the characters, and it was one of those like moments that like it wasn't like in the play. We just did it because people for some odd reason were just like,
do it,
yeah,
do it,
yeah.
Which
we love this.
Yeah. What else have I done? I was I played Teddy in Arsenic and Old Lace, so I got to be a crazy guy who thought he was Teddy Roosevelt, which was great.
Wow. When was Shrek?
I think that was in 2016.
Okay, so it's been
7 years ago.
7 years ago, and you just named like 5-6 shows.
Yeah, I did a lot in a brief span of time. I haven't done a show since 2021.
Okay,
I want to say
I mean,
was
you've
in
been pretty
Caesar.
busy.
Yeah, I played Brutus in Caesar, which was a lot of fun. The Shakespeare Caesar.
Wow.
I didn't know Brutus was the main character in that play. When they asked me if I wanted to play Brutus, I was like, "Isn't Caesar the main character?" But he's out at the end of Act 1.
Yeah.
And then it's Brutus the whole time. The play is convincing Brutus to kill Caesar, and then the consequences of killing Caesar. So that was
okay.
And that was a pandemic show. So it was like we were all on webcam in our own spaces, and like we had to simulate murdering Caesar in Zoom. It was wild.
What? This sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's on OSU Newark's YouTube channel. If you look up the pandemic players Caesar.
Dude, how crazy would it have been if you guys would have been able to somehow choreograph it? Like all of you have like a green screen, and you choreograph it in a way to where they can overlay all of the videos, and you know what I mean? And then just like make it like you guys were all, yeah.
That would have been a lot.
Yeah.
Technique
what you guys did was a lot.
Our technique was basically, okay, it's your turn, stab the camera. It's your turn, stab the camera. Caesar, do this.
That's, oh my God. Like, so, like, there's like, what, 15 cameras going at once?
I think there were 20 people in the cast.
Oh my God. So I'm literally, imagine someone with ADD. This would be the worst fucking play to watch he's like, oh, what did you think of the fucking Caesar play that we just...
I don't know.
It's like,
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
They're speaking Shakespeare to start with.
And 25 different cameras.
The good news is we did have a videographer who would fade people in and out of the scene as they were in the scene.
Oh,
So like,
okay.
it wasn't like Hollywood Square style where everybody was there. There were some scenes that were like that.
Brady Bunch. Like,
yeah, there were some scenes like that, but most scenes they would boil down to the people who were speaking, and then they would have most of the screen real estate, so you knew where the focus was.
Interesting.
It was cool. It was a really interesting production.
I'll have to. You said it's on the Newark.
OSU Newark's YouTube channel.
Okay, hell yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right.
I wish he hadn't disabled comments on it, because I always like. I always love reading people's comments on things that I do. Like, comments give me that little bit of dopamine.
That tracks, man. I would have done that too. Like an online musical. Like, no offense to anyone who did it. I'm sure you guys had a lot of fun, and I'm sure everybody who watched it enjoyed it. But you know, it's just like that. That's like somebody recently came up to me and asked about this opportunity for like comedy in the metaverse, and I was like, oh, I don't know about all that.
Like stand up in the metaverse?
Yeah.
Dude, you would be an avatar and there would be other avatars watching?
Yes.
That sounds weird.
Bro, so I guess during the pandemic, like Fortnite like fucked around with this a little bit. They started doing like concerts online. So it's like they would have like Deadmau5 or fucking Marshmello or some bullshit. And people like would like log in. You would buy like a virtual ticket or some shit, and you would literally log in and go to this fucking stage that they would fucking make like a map, like literally like World of Warcraft, and then everybody would just run up and just fucking do their fucking.
Can you imagine having the balls to charge for that?
You know what, dude? At this point, like nothing surprises
Mark
me,
Zuckerberg's
bro.
in the hole. He's got to pay for that metaverse somehow,
dude. But the whole metaverse thing is like a crazy idea, man. It's like a really like I'm starting to like kind of get worried about it because I'm like people are gonna like. It's not catching on yet, which is great. I'm like, that's cool. But like as soon as it does and things start like, hey guys, we're going to start doing everything in the metaverse. And it's like, yeah, you guys can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah,
it's
touch
like,
some grass, man. Like,
yeah, bro. Like, I mean, do we have to like wait for all the old people to die off? Or are they also going to be using metaverse?
I don't know. It's got to get a lot better before I feel like it's going to be like a Ready Player One situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
So right now it's like an AIM chat room.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe how poor the graphics are.
Yeah,
on those things.
So I was messing around. I didn't have like a full helmet, but I had like one of those like Google lens thingies, and you slide your phone in there, and I was like messing around with like some of the like Google stuff, and bro, I'll be honest, man, it's kind of nuts. Like, and then I also have like an app where I figured out I could like do it for my computer, so I'd like do it over Wi-Fi, so I could actually do like the computer games, and like it's actually a little nuts, just like how disorienting it can be, because it's like I was at Easton and they had like one of those like setups, and I was doing the rock climbing one.
Oh no,
I felt like I was gonna fall. I didn't actually fall, but like it was like one of those things where you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Your caveman brain doesn't know any better.
Exactly.
We had an Oculus Club at the library when I worked there.
Okay.
And like there was this app that you could use with the VR to travel anywhere in the world. And I used to play a prank on the kids and say, go to the Grand Canyon, because for some dumb reason, the app starts you above the Grand Canyon instead of like on the side. So you like look down and your whole brain is like, I'm falling.
Oh my God, dude, that's crazy. Man.
Yeah, I don't work at the library anymore.
Yeah. That's nuts. So you said you've done a lot of like jokey or whatever, or like different types of like musicals and plays.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to like influences, like who are like your biggest influences in like art, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's I've had a lot of people that I look up to. I like Robin Williams a lot. I've always looked up to him just because he could make anybody laugh, and he could make any situation feel calm.
Yeah.
Despite how chaotic he was as a person. As far as authors go, I like. I've always been a big fan of Charles Dickens. I like Jim Butcher, as I mentioned before, the Dresden Files. I like J.R.R. Tolkien. I quite enjoy anyone who can make you feel like the world you are experiencing is a real place that they've been to, and they're just documenting what happened. People who understand that when you raise a certain point, that has a domino effect on things that are happening down the line. You can see this in a lot of world building when it's lazy. It's one of those things that when it's working really well, you don't notice. But when it's something that somebody has half-assed, you notice right away. Like there was a Netflix show called Bright.
Okay.
With Will Smith in it, which was basically he was a cop in L.A., but monsters were real. Like, there were orcs and there were fairies.
But with monsters.
Yeah.
Like that.
But it was like the entire world went the same way despite magic existing and despite there being races that aren't humans in like general society. And like those are things that would have very big ramifications on the timeline.
Yeah, I was going to say, like if you guys thought getting rights was hard for you guys, like, bro, these goblins, bro, good luck.
Yeah, no, like it blows my mind how somebody can just like drop that into a world and be like, everything else is the same. No. You have to pick when you're doing world building. This is one of the things I'm big about, especially when I freelance edit for other people.
Okay.
Because that's another one of my jobs.
Yeah.
As I edit other people's books, and I describe it as brick wall world building syndrome, where there's a learning curve to every fictional concept. If you introduce a lot of things all at once, it increases the steepness of the learning curve for whatever you're writing.
Yeah. It's like, do the basics and then build up as you go on.
And if you introduce too much too fast, that learning curve becomes straight up, and they smack into it and they bounce off and they never read the rest of your book. Like, you want people to settle in and be able to grasp the concepts organically as they need to understand them, rather than assuming your reader won't understand anything. But when you're doing something like adding monsters or magic to the real world, you have to understand that there might not be in America if we know monsters exist in 1600.
Yeah.
Like, there might not be in America if George Washington died. Imagine if...
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Interesting.
You have to pick your virgin's point, and you have to understand that even if everything is the same leading up to that virgin's point, you've got to think about what that change is going down the line. Like in my book, magic gets introduced to the public in 1907, when Anson starts doing it in public and telling people monsters are real, magic is real, this is who I am. And the government has to grapple with that. They've got a Department of Monster Affairs that is like, okay, if monsters are going to be part of society, what do we do? Like, how do we coexist?
Okay, so let me ask you. So when you're doing all this, because this is like nuts. Because I've always like wondered this myself. Like when people are like writing like TV shows, or like even George R.R. Martin when he's like writing his books, it's like how do you do all that without being just like the man was standing on the side of the road and he gave a man a flower. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're using all these like descriptive words, like words that fucking matter. Like every word, matters. And so it's like, how do you go about doing that and like figuring that part out?
You have to trick your reader. You start with something that is universally understandable to them and with a character that they can be invested in, without the bells and whistles of your world building. So you put somebody that they like into a situation that they recognize, and then you get them invested in this conflict and this character, and then you could sneak stuff into them as they need it, as they're going along, because they care about what happens to that character.
Okay, so if like you were like, for example, if you were going to write a book about magicians, the very first thing that you would do would, be, oh, maybe he gets mugged.
Yeah, something like that.
You're like, oh, you have no idea that he's got magic. And then, oh, shit, now he's got magic. Wait, who is this guy? Like, why am I so interested in him? And he's a lot more hotter now. Like,
yeah, it's stuff like that. Like, there are so many ways to begin your book, but what you don't want to do, and I love J.R.R. Tolkien, but it's his fault that people start their books this way. Because it worked in 1933 when he released his books. But people don't know that it's been 100 years.
Yeah.
Audiences are different now, and you're not Tolkien.
Yeah.
I'm not Tolkien. Nobody's Tolkien. Tolkien is Tolkien. Amazon's not Tolkien, but that's not here.
Uh-oh. Your book's going to be missing here on Amazon here in a day or two.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. No, sorry, Amazon.
Like,
just
sorry,
kidding.
Amazon. The gods. I'm sorry.
But no, like, so many people begin their book with, like, a prologue that is the history of the world, or a prologue about something that happened 3,000 years ago that nobody has a reason to care about. Like, we don't know your world. We don't care about any of the people who live there. You need to give us a reason. You need to give us an anchor point. Okay. As a reader.
Now, would you also say that this also is like something that would cross over into like a Dungeons and Dragons game or something like that?
Definitely.
Like, you wouldn't start off with like 3,000 years ago. You would just interesting, because that happens a lot. I feel like. And
maybe as a blog post, like if you write it down and you
really
send
boring.
it to your players. They won't read it, but you can send it to them and be like, I tried. This is the backstory. But once they care about the world that they're in, they might go back and read that document.
Okay, sweet.
It's just, and there's so many people who, I edit a lot of bad books because I'm a freelance editor, so I don't work for a publishing company. People on the internet find me and they say, will you read my book? And sometimes it's like reading a manifesto. Like I had to leave a comment for somebody that said, child necrophilia is not an okay thing to spring on somebody without a content warning. My guy. Like, I don't know how your brain works, but you can't be doing that to people.
Dang, son. Dang. Yeah. Wow.
Or like there was one book I read that basically was like, dragon fighting to stop an astrological apocalypse, and it was the most boring book of all time. I was like, how do you mess up dragon stopping the apocalypse?
How does it astronom? What? How does that even happen?
It was a dragon astronomer, and like
what? Like a dragon person or like a big dragon? Like
it was a dragon who could turn into a regular sized person.
So
because some dragons can do that.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, bro, how is one dragon gonna fight space, bro? Like, there's no fucking way. Like,
do not fight space. You will lose.
Yeah.
Space will kill
even
you.
as a dragon, dude. I don't know if you have a chance, man. There's a lot of suns out there.
But even that concept of like a dragon trying to stop, I think it was an asteroid was coming to hit the planet, and the dragon was trying to figure out how to do it. But the whole book was like Zoom meetings. It was like the dragon trying to convince people, hey, the asteroid is real.
It's during the pandemic, man. Like, what do you expect?
Dragons can't get COVID. Everybody knows that.
Dude, yeah. And also, why is a dragon using Zoom? Like, what?
Yeah,
can't you just fly to places and just be like, hey,
yeah,
there's an asteroid, and then go to the next city and be like, yo.
Oh, you're a dragon. I believe you. That should have been the end of the statement. That should have been the end of the sentence. It was 400 pages of nobody believing the dragon. And I was like, this is all.
Like, wait, you're saying there's an asteroid coming? You fucking dragon, get out of here.
Yeah, and then they didn't even stop the asteroid at the end of the book. They were like, okay, book 2, we're going to stop the asteroid. And I was like, I'm the only person who's ever going to read this.
Oh, my God.
You're not getting to book 2 unless you go through and do all this stuff. It's an interesting job. I get to read a lot of stories. I get to give a lot of helpful advice because it's important for new writers to exist.
Okay.
In every medium.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that writing and storytelling is one of the things that really elevates humanity as a group. It's one of the things that we do that's magic.
Yeah, I feel like something that I was thinking about a lot recently is that like we've been thinking about like the subconscious and like just like our unconscious stuff, and it's like we're all seeing, you know, maybe not all the exact same stuff, but it's all like different perspectives of the same exact things. So it's like really nice when you get someone who's really good at telling their perspective.
Yeah, it's magic. I mean, we are able to make memory and thought time travel through writing. Like, we can talk to people who are going to exist hundreds of years from now, and we could talk to people who existed thousands of years ago. Like, it's bananas that this is a thing that happens.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
And everybody should try it. I encourage everybody, even though everyone thinks they can write a book, I think everybody should at least try to see how it goes.
You know, that's why I started the podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because I wanted to write a book, and I was like, this shit is fucking stupid. And I was like, I would rather talk for an hour and a half once a week for 5 years and then be like, all right, that was good.
That was easy.
That was better than spending 5 or 6 years trying to sit down at a table, which I hate doing anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the process, it takes as long as it takes. My first book took 10 months to write, the first draft, and then it took 2 or 3 more months for editing.
Technical difficulties with our light over here. Got some issues. This is the danger zone. We're actually filming a horror film here soon. Yeah.
Where's the green filter?
It's added in post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But So how many books do you have to release before you start adding letters to your middle name?
You can do that right away if you want. No, it's on your. So here's the thing: George R.R. Martin literally stole J.R.R. Tolkien's letters.
Oh.
He did that to be like Tolkien.
Oh, okay. So that's not like a thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a. People do use initials.
Okay.
It's less common now. I know a lot of women used to do initials, so people didn't know that there were women writing books. Because
that makes sense,
there was some subconscious bias against buying books that had women's names on them, which I'm not qualified to speak about. But
yeah, because you never bought a woman's book?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Not one. Just Jesus's. Just the Bible.
He's like, I was buying all these books with initials, but like I never bought a woman's book because screw that. No, that's crazy.
I mean, I read a lot of Anne Rice and Charlene Harris.
Okay.
A lot of vampire books.
You're really into the vampire stuff.
I like vampire books. I like immortal characters in general.
Okay.
Why
is that?
I think there's something interesting about the baggage that comes along with them. Not just because they're from a different time period and you get a little bit of that fish out of water situation with them where they're having trouble adjusting to stuff around them. But there's a certain gravitas and there's a certain Like when you know a character is old, there are things that you can relate to them, and there are things that they can understand that the reader doesn't necessarily understand. And it gives you a lot of chances to increase the stakes of what's happening, because if an immortal character is actually in danger, that's not good. They've been around a long time.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So, is that the best superpower?
I don't think so.
What's the best superpower? This is actually a good question, because I think I know the correct answer. I think there's one correct answer.
If I could have any superpower in the world, it would be the ability to refill anything.
Refill anything?
So I could refill my bank account, I could refill my car, I could refill my stomach if I was hungry, I could refill my dialysis machine, I could fill the bladders of my enemies if I want them to go away. Like,
ooh, that's a very well, it's like either way, it could be either very inconvenient or very nice. Okay.
Yeah, because having like super strength would suck, because people would ask you to move all the time, and I'm not punching people on a regular basis.
I always thought, not the mind reading one, but the other one, the
telekinesis.
Yeah, where you move stuff. I thought that one was the best one.
That wouldn't be so bad.
Because like you have like super strength, because like it doesn't seem like there's really a limit to how much your mind can lift. Also, you could just lift yourself up, so now you can fly, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like that one's like the best one.
You'd have to be able to put a force field around yourself though, or flying would suck.
Ooh, I guess you're right.
Because like a bird could hit you in the face and you'd be dead.
I mean, can you do that though? I mean, I don't know.
Some telekinetics can make telekinetic force fields around themselves.
Okay, this is all right. You're changing my mind on the superhero powers now.
That's the thing about superpowers. Having one superpower sucks, because a lot of superpowers need other superpowers to work.
Yeah.
Like flight, you have to be invulnerable, or you're gonna have a bad time. Or if you can fly, is your flight powered by how fast you can move regularly? Is it a muscle thing? Is it something that like, if I can't fly fast,
you're just swimming through the air, just like,
yeah. Because if I can fly and I don't have super strength, that's not as good.
That'd be crazy if we could just fucking just like flap our arms and just like get up like 5 feet off the ground like chickens or some shit. That'd be crazy.
I'm not trying to go to arm day every day just to go to work. Like,
hey. That's funny. Yeah, no, I feel like that's interesting. Refilling everything. I don't really. Now I'm gonna have to think about this.
That's an esoteric superpower.
Did you come up with that yourself? Or is that okay? So
after some thinking.
Okay.
If you want a more traditional answer, I think magic would be my favorite superpower.
Okay.
But that's another one of those superpowers that you can sort of do anything.
Yeah. Where it's like what? Yeah.
Like it depends on the magic system. The magic system in my book has rules. Like magic is split along a color spectrum, and you get a certain color of magic that you're able to do. And certain colors allow certain abilities. Like red is the ability to evoke, which is being able to use elemental magic. Are you given these colors,
or are you just born? Like,
you're born
a
certain way. It's not necessarily genetic, but you are born in the color that you have. Except for one kind of wizard. The white wizards have the ability to do all magic.
Fucking white wizards, dude.
Yeah, it's bad news. And I promise it comes from... I promise it's the principle behind calling them white wizards is because light, when it refracts, if you bring all the colors back, it makes white light. Mm-hmm. If you make no color, it's black.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucking funny, dude. That's fucking funny. That's crazy. No, I'm excited, man. This is really good. So you've been doing the tabletop stuff. You've been doing the book stuff. You haven't really done any shows or anything recently. What else you got going on?
Like I said, we are getting ready to start our new streaming show, which is going to be Freedomly Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage, which is a sequel to the game we ran last year that went for 53 episodes, in which our heroes are going to be traveling throughout the multiverse trying to stop an evil wizard from destroying everything.
Have you ever thought about doing like you know how like some people will do their like D&D games or whatever, and then they'll like animate them?
That would be really cool, but I don't have any artistic ability.
Yeah. I got
and it's really expensive to pay for
Yeah.
animation. I think it's like $4 million a minute or something like that.
Wow. Fuck that. I don't have $4 million. Do you guys? I don't know. No,
but it's something I would love to do. I mean, I would love to do it for our Mutants and Mastermind stuff because we have our own setting
Okay.
And we have. I'd love to do comic books. I'd love to do animation, but it's just not something that we're equipped to do at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I really I've been telling a lot of people this like recently. Is like I have like some ideas for some cartoons that I want to fucking do, and it's like I've been sitting on them for so long. This is like one of those like book things where it's like you're like trying to figure out how you could like actually like figure out the details and everything, because it's like for one of them I have like pretty much like the whole scope of like the pilot figured out, which is like pretty much like that's like the big one where it's like
that's the one you need to impress people with.
Exactly. So it's like I just like you said, like animation's hard. I've done a lot of like the artistic stuff. I just found that talking was a lot easier.
It is a lot easier.
Lot easier.
It's interesting trying to find things that are labor intensive that you can do by yourself. That's one of the things that I love about books is most of my time at work is me working by myself, and it relies on my hard work, my creativity, to get to a point where other people can help me, like editors or beta readers, things like that. I am getting ready to kickstart my first comic book.
Okay.
Which I'm excited about. It's called Chaotic Good, and it is about a D&D party, and it cuts between the players at the table and the characters in world while they're doing their stuff.
Okay.
The first issue deals with stopping a band of goblins from kidnapping the mayor's daughter, and there's a lot of shenanigans involved. Sort of a comedy, fantasy.
All right. So how many projects, like solo, like your projects do you have going on right now, like at once?
Well, I've got my books. Honestly, I think my books are the only things that I consider to be my solo projects, because my comic book, I'm working with an artist who is great. Her name's Stephanie Lane. She goes by Jupe, but she's wonderfully talented.
How do you balance that? And also, wait, so really quick, so these books that you're writing right now, are they a part of this series?
Yes. Yep.
Are any of them done?
The second book is almost done. It should be done in a week or so. And then I'll start beta reading for it, so I'll have people read the book, give me their feedback, and then I'll do another edit based on that. While they're reading that one, I'll be finishing the third book.
So wait, how do you write a book that's like after, or are they just like happening at the same time? Like what's going on? Like
so book one is the initial point of this series. Book two is the immediate aftermath for one of the characters, and book three is the immediate aftermath for the other main character.
Oh.
So book three, spoiler alert, book three is about Anson's journey through this place called Tartarus. Which is a mythological place, but it's got its own sort of spin in my universe. And then book two is about his daughter Caroline's experience becoming a wizard superhero and dealing with the aftermath of the Tartarus escape that happens at the end of this book.
And I've seen you. I've seen a lot of different stuff that you've been doing online and everything. Have you ever done like this world? As like a campaign for something, because I thought I saw like you got someone to draw you a map of your city.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be in the books. That is for the players, because I run Titan City games at different conventions. I have also got the Titan City Chronicles on our Twitch channel and our YouTube channel that were serialized short stories.
Bro, you're a part of so much shit.
It's a lot.
Dude, you're literally like, I'm working on like 3 books and a comic book series, and I'm also the lead developer of
it's a lot of spreadsheets.
4 different games.
Just the one game. But,
oh, damn. How do you...
Although I have been doing some freelance work for a couple of other games, but I don't think I'm able to talk about that right now.
Yeah, that's cool. How do you find time for all of this?
Luckily, it's my full-time job, so I don't have 40 hours a week where I've got to go be a slave for somebody else, which is great. I don't have to go answer to call centers anymore.
Yeah.
Which was the worst job ever.
Interesting. So even this like lead developer as a game, like in this game thing, you're not like 9 to 5?
No, I have to work a certain amount of hours every week, but they don't care which hours, as long as I get those hours done.
Dude, that would be horrible for me, dude. That's like high school all over
You'd
again.
be like, man, it's Sunday from midnight to 9 a.m. Those are my hours.
They're like, Eddie, we saw that you didn't clock in any hours between Monday and Friday. But Saturday and Sunday, you seem to have killed it.
You see, it looks like you worked the whole day.
Yeah. It looks like 48 hours just between those 2 days.
I've had a lot of 39-hour shifts in my time.
Nice.
Mostly for freelance editing. That's mostly like those are the projects that sort of when I'm overwhelmed, that's the stuff I'm like, I could do that closer to the deadline. I love doing freelance editing, and it's something I can do fairly quickly. So it's the one thing that I'm like, okay, if I have to sacrifice something, I'll stay up through finishing that, and I'll work on this other stuff. But it's a lot of spreadsheets. I mean, I schedule my writing out in 2-week blocks, and I say what each writing session has to accomplish.
Oh.
And I keep track of, if I get this done during this writing session, then I've got some more time. I can sneak something from the next writing session in, or if I need to adjust things around. Cool. It's all broken down to, I need to get these chapters done for this session. I need to get this game thing done. It's just time management.
All right.
And I write really fast. That helps a lot.
All right. I was gonna say, because like for me, it like sometimes takes a while to like come up with like even like a fucking 20-second joke, and like so to like come up with like a whole ass story.
Yeah, I am a firm proponent that it is a lot easier to edit something that exists than it is to write something perfect the first time.
Okay.
So I am not precious about getting stuff on the page.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's like the hard part for me. Mm-hmm. The editing process, fucking, I got that down. But like when it comes to the trying to just like conceive the idea and put it on paper to where it's something that I like horrendous amount of time.
You've got to give yourself permission to suck.
Yeah.
That's a very important thing, I think, for writers to hear if they haven't heard it from somebody else. Allow yourself to write a bad draft. Yeah. And then go back and edit it.
Dude, well, imagine how I feel when I think I read a good draft and it still sucks. Like, dude, like, it's the worst.
That's still a learning experience.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's all growing.
Yeah.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we're doing both at the same time.
Well, scientifically, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's one thing that stresses me about Anson is he's going to be around in 11 billion years when the universe is gone. He'll be the last thing that is there.
That's crazy. No, like, I never thought about that. Like, how immortal are immortals?
Depends.
Like, can you still like technically drown and stuff, but like you just come back, or are you just like drowning the entire time?
Depends. Yeah, that's why I would never want to have immortality, because immortality adds infinite time to your life. And when you have infinite time, that means statistically everything will happen to you. So one day a building will fall on you and you'll be trapped there for thousands of years until somebody comes and excavates the building or the planet gets destroyed.
Wow.
Like Anson is preparing for in 5 billion years when the sun explodes and the earth is destroyed and he'll be launched into space, and he'll just have to hope that he lands on a civilized planet somewhere down the line.
Dude, that's like worries of his?
Yeah, those are things that he thinks.
Dude,
that's why he wants to die.
Dude, that's so nuts. Like, I'm sitting here thinking like, man, I only have like 70 years left. And then now this guy's like, man, I'm going to get shot into space. Like,
eventually.
What? Like, dude, we think we know our problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like, I could get hit by a bus. He's going to get hit by a bus eventually. Like, statistically speaking.
He doesn't even know what a bus is yet.
No. Well, did they have buses in 1933? I think they have.
Oh, probably.
They've got trolley cars at least. You'd get hit by a trolley car.
Yeah. Interesting. But, like, what happens if your head gets cut off?
His head grows back. Well, a body grows out of the neck stump. The body disintegrates into ash, but the head survives.
Interesting. This is...
Yeah, he's been disintegrated before. He's been banished to another dimension.
This is like a Wolverine situation.
Yeah, he's had a lot of bad times.
Because even Wolverine got like blasted into like 1,000 pieces, didn't he? And then he still survived.
Yeah,
or is that Deadpool?
Both Wolverine and Deadpool, I think, have been atomized and come back from being disintegrated. Like it's one of those superhero things that you're like, that's ridiculous.
But do they come back and congeal together, or do they just like all grow into their own?
Depends on who's writing the story.
Dude, because that would be a problem.
That's a lot of Deadpools.
Yeah, dude. Just imagine how many assholes there are.
We're all Deadpool.
Yeah, dude. Just one for each state in America.
Yeah, that's actually thinking about him getting launched into space. I was like, well, there's got to be a reason that he's immortal then, because that's the fail state of his existence, is being trapped in oblivion. So I came up with the idea that Anson's job in the cycle of the universe is to be the Big Bang for the next universe. So he's supposed to gather as much energy as possible, and then when everything is destroyed by his nemesis, he is the one that's responsible for birthing the next universe. That's the Big Bang. That's the cycle. But in the books, this has happened 9 times. Basically, 9 universes have come and gone. And this is the one where things are going to go differently, because there's never been a child of both creation and annihilation. So his daughter is going to be she's got main character syndrome a little bit, because she's got this thing where she could be the thing that stops the cycle. One way or the other. It could be
like an Anakin Skywalker situation.
Yeah.
Where it's like they think that she's the one, but Yoda knows.
Yeah, she might be the one who destroys everything forever and stops the rebirth part of it.
Yeah.
Just lets the story come to an end.
Or maybe she has twins, and then they together save the universe.
Mm-hmm.
A group of twin magicians who don't know that they're related and have some weird, immortality with your sister. That's a hard thing, you know what I mean? Just like a lot of people coming and going, but they never do.
Well, we should probably at least try to repopulate the planet, right?
Oh!
No, I don't think we should.
In Alex Thomas's next book, we have Repopulating the Earth with Alabama.
It's called the Twincest Sagas.
Ooh, nice. He's already got it all right now. He knows. Oh, man.
I actually do have another book that I'm working on. That's not related to Titan City.
Oh, man.
I'm really excited about this one, actually. It's called Dead End Job, and it is the story of a young woman who gets shot and killed while she's working at a big box retail store. And when she gets to the afterlife, she finds out that she has to work off all the bad things she did in life with the jobs on her resume. So she ends up working at a ghostly retail store called Happy Hauntings. And it's the worst.
Dude, that's so funny. Like like the last job you had, that's your fucking purgatory.
Yep.
Like, bro, I do not want to be rolling silverware for the rest of my fucking eternity, dude. Like, no.
Yeah, that's the trick too.
Imagine being a sex worker. That would be horrible.
Well, here I am. You're that ghost from Ghostbusters that sleeps with Dan Aykroyd. Dude. That's how that happened.
This is like a really bad version of Groundhog's Day. Just not good. Oh, man. It's
called Groundhog's Day.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Your improv skills are great. I love it.
That's right. I have my moments. I DM a lot.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of saying yes, and then what happens?
Yeah, man. I love... That's like... I feel like that's kind of why I really like that shit. It's just because there is that part of like that theater part of me that really still likes that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But like, not saying I would never, ever again, but like, dude, being alone on stage, not having to like... I mean, I guess I'm still doing like tech weeks myself because I'm going out to like, 2 or 3 mics a night, maybe sometimes 4 if I can make it. But it's like, dude, being on somebody else's time is the worst. Where it's like, all right, we're going to practice on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then like for like 3 weeks, it's like, all right, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday and Thursday. Every day for 4 weeks, and it's like, no.
But I have a life.
I know, dude. That's why it's like, man, like anyone who's traveling on the road, like they definitely have a hard time. But it's like Broadway people, bro. Fuck, because it's not like a comedian where they like get home from their road gigs and it's like, all right, like I can just go into town and then come back home for like a thing. It's like these guys are fucking working. They're just working all the fucking time. They're just on the road all the fucking time.
Yeah, this might be shocking, but I am strictly anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
I have a lot of begrudging hate for the fact that we have to pay to live here, and every other creature just gets to sit on a riverbank and eat strawberries.
Well, guess what? They made the rules. Okay, we didn't. Okay, we just showed up. They were here first. They were like, dude, what if it was them? What if it was like the monkeys? They were like, I bet you we can make these fucking idiots pay. Like,
Joke's on them. We're going to destroy the planet.
Like, dude, yeah. Like, all the other animals are like, man, look at these fucking idiots, man. Just making paper and then giving it out to each other.
Whose face is that? They put their faces on it.
I mean, dude, we fucking make fun of that, like, other animals for doing shit like that all the time. And it's like, how different are we? We're just like, we're taking trees, breaking them down. Like, that's insane. Like, literally.
There are green leaves on every tree. We could just grab leaves and scrawl George Washington's face on them. We're doing this so hard.
Dude.
Monkeys don't have landlords. Like,
oh, man.
Elon Musk is not going to destroy the planet.
Maybe not. Who knows? His fucking banana ship, he might be doing something crazy. It's like... He's like, what would the monkey version of Jeff Bezos be? What would his monkey name be?
Jeff Bonobos.
Ooh, there you go.
Bonobos.
There we go. Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah, you know, he sees his like dick-shaped airplane. He's like, I'm gonna make a banana-shaped one, dude.
I'm getting in there. We got this.
You were gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
All right.
It kills me that people are so cynical that they're like, let's just leave this planet to go to Mars instead of just making this one better while we're here.
Hey, man, I mean, I've watched Wall-E. I see what happens. I know. I fucking know. EJ's just getting ready for it, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that chair had a toilet in it.
Oh, dude. We kid here. We kid. No, but Alex, you have so much shit to like plug. So like, let's fucking roll through everything all over again, really quick. Okay. We'll start with your book. Where can we find it? What's the name?
So my book is available on Amazon. It is called The Magician's Sin. It is book 1 of the Titan City Chronicles, but if you type in The Magician's Sin, it should come up. Otherwise, you can find it on alexanderreitz.com. If you are interested in hanging out with us over on Twitch, we're at twitch.tv/Untold Stories Project every Tuesday and Wednesday, in which we play all sorts of stuff. Tuesday nights is currently our Magical Girls Night, where we have a bunch of people who are playing like Sailor Moon style superheroes, which is a lot of fun. Wednesdays we'll be starting up our Freedomly Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage, starting on Wednesday the 22nd of February 2023. If you're interested in Mutants and Masterminds, you can find us over at greenronin.com or anywhere that games are sold. Go to your friendly local game store if you have a chance. If you're in Columbus, there's the Guard Tower, East and West, the Laughing Ogre, a lot of places I like to go to.
Do you think the Soldiery would have it? Have you ever been there?
Yeah,
okay.
the Soldiery should have some of our products. If they don't have Mutants and Masterminds.
I think that's like real close to this area. Like,
yeah.
It's Chaotic Good is not available yet, is it?
Not yet. Not yet. Chaotic Good will be heading to backer kits.
Almost fucking finished up, and the light is like, nah.
Chaotic Good will be coming to backer kit in the next couple of weeks. Jupe just sent me my proof copy. I was really hoping it would be here for tonight's podcast, but it should be here in the next couple of days.
Okay. And I mean, I'm gonna have all these links, all this stuff, because I feel like it's like really important. And like the thing that I like about this podcast, and like if anyone's listening, because I have a lot of people who ask to be on the podcast, and the thing that I really like are people who are doing stuff that I can like showcase, because it's like, yeah, you're a comedian, but like, you're just going to open mics, you know what I mean? It's like, it's really hard to like, it's like, I want to talk to people who are like building shit. Like, you know what I mean? You're fucking doing a book, a comic book, you're doing all sorts of shit. Like, that's like the type of stuff that I want to like look at, because it's like, even if I'm not even into like the book or whatever, it's like all just like the work ethic and just like the idea of like being able to tell a story well is like insane to me. So,
yeah, and I hope I have offered something valuable to the people who listen.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we have a few nerds in here. I feel like this is probably the first like real. I mean, we had Stevie J on. I think he talked about some anime and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, that was like probably the nerdiest episode that we've got. So I mean, this is like not nerdy, but like you're definitely talking about something that we haven't really talked about on here
I'm a
before.
nerd. I get
Yeah,
it.
I love it.
I've been a nerd since it wasn't cool.
Yeah, but I fucking love it, man. I fucking missed you. You're
Missed
fucking
you
great.
too.
Thanks so much for stopping in.
Yeah.
Guys, this was Alexander Thomas. Thanks for watching another episode of Help I'm High and Can't Get Down. You guys can watch us on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you guys find your podcast. We'll catch you guys next episode.
Awesome.